Alright, this is tutorial 3 and we're going to build up the basic structure of our level. Just to remind you, last time you were here we did titles. We had this set up to look at titles, and we get a titles and we get a button and we can click play and it goes to level 1, which is level 2 within the game, but edit game, game level. So we're in titles right now, or we're actually in level 1 now, but in level 1 we'll make sure we're loaded on this. We're going to add some titles. We already have some titles in here, and as you may recall, just use those to determine the corners of our space. So if we play this again, looking at it, you'll notice that that's probably a good place for the floor. We could put the floor down here. What we're going to do instead is put the title, the scoreboard right down here. So before we get too far, you always want to think about the score first because it's an important and crucial piece of what we're doing. So I'm going to click to create a new object and create. That's the wheel menu there. And I'm going to call this Scoreboard. Very clever name. And I'm going to edit this. So I want to think about my design. I'm going to click this is my sprite editor screen, and there's all these great tools to work with. There's a pen that you can draw colors with. Actually, that's an eraser apparently. I'm not sure how that happened. But I should be able to draw color with this. And somehow it's not doing that, but I should be able to click this X and remove everything. And now I'm going to get a nice yellow color. I'm going to click on this to desaturate it just a little bit, not too much, and I'm going to use the paint bucket to fill that up. So that's now my design for my scoreboard, and I'm going to take this and clone it. So I click this, and there's 4 options in the wheel menu most of the time when I click on an object that's already created: clone, delete, edit, and cancel. So clone lets me just paint a bunch of these, and you kind of got to be careful because I'll draw along like this and I'm not controlling my mouse too good. Suddenly I go off the path, and so I'm going to come back and show you how to delete that later, which is quite simple. So now I've got a design, and anytime I've got cloning happening, it wants to keep painting until I click done cloning. Okay, so I'm going to click on this one and delete it. Okay, so now if I look at this, I click play and I go, okay, I've got a little skin area down there for my score and my information. You can make it bigger if you want, make it taller, move it up. It's up to you. But going back in here, I've got to have a tile over here to control my score. And this tile is something I'm going to use across. I could do it with one of these, but if I control the programming through all of these, they'll all be firing all that at once. So I only want one object that's controlling my titles, my scores. So I'm going to make this called my scorekeeper. Scorekeeper. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. We're just going to say behaviors, and we're going to add some stuff later. Just for now, let's use a GUI label, and we're going to make 2 labels. We're going to want one that says score. Very clever. And I'm going to make this small enough that it fits in the top slice right there. So I want to make it a lot smaller. So I'm going to say that's good. That's size 4.8. And I can go back here, and I want to test this to make sure it looks good and works. So I'm going to drag this to right there, somewhere in there. So if I cancel and go play, I can see it, and that works, and I'm happy. Escape to go back in here. I'm going to go back to my scorekeeper. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to go to behaviors, and I'm going to make another label. So back to my GUI, my label, and I'm just thinking ahead, and this one's going to be lives. Now, I always find the slider kind of hard to work with, so I try to work my mouse very gently. Like 4. Oh, I had it. There's 4.8. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go, 4.8. So this one is lives, and it should be up there somewhere. I can't really see it, but if I say OK, there it is. So I'm going to take this lives and put it over here. So those are the only numbers I need for now. And you can get pretty complicated with your scores if you want to. You can do things, but first things first, let's get there with this process first. So having done that, let's come back in a minute and prepare for making all of our other walls and floors.